Hey everyone, welcome back to Stoic Bucks. I can see it. You're picturing a future with them giving up things, going the extra mile, maybe even putting your own dreams on hold, because their happiness comes first. They say they love you, but they treat you like an afterthought. They forget what you said. They forget the plans you made together. And yet, they still say they care. It's like you're living in a paradox, where their words say one thing and their actions say something else. Did you ever wonder if they love you or just stay with you for convenience? Maybe they're not as invested in you as you are, or maybe they're holding on to something that's no longer there. What happens if you're attempting to attract someone new and they're ignoring you? That's still hard, especially when you're trying to make a real connection. However, it's important to remember that sometimes your distance from someone doesn't necessarily indicate how valuable you are. Stay with me. We're going to talk about everything. Today, we will be discussing this complex topic. Hit the like button if you're ready to find out the truth behind their mixed messages and get the clarity you deserve. Push. Pull shows what's really going on below the surface. Keep watching. You won't want to miss it, because by the end, you'll know exactly how to understand what they did and what to do next. If someone truly loves you, they may be withdrawing or neglecting you for various reasons, of which I will outline the top 3 here. But wait, there's more. We're also going to talk about the possibility that they're only staying because it's convenient or because you're welcoming to them. What if one day they decide to walk away? It's challenging to face, but you have to be ready for everything. As our Stoic friend Seneca once said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. As in life, relationships require preparation for highs and lows. We'll talk about everything from why they might really love you, but act distant, to the brutal truth about whether they're only staying away out of comfort. Let's dive in and get the strength and clarity we need to face whatever comes next. Please note that we can only control ourselves, not them, regardless of their position. That's where Stoicism comes in to save us. We'll look at everything from all angles. You shouldn't overlook this lesson. It could potentially be the pivotal moment that restores your tranquility and strength. Remember that no matter how challenging things get, you have to stay strong. This lesson serves as a reminder of your strength and resilience, not to cause you pain. Let this be a reminder that you have the strength to handle anything that comes your way. If they truly love you, why are they ignoring you? Here are 3 possible reasons. 1. They express their love in a way that surprises you. That's it. That's the first reason they might ignore you, even if they really care. Love languages are different, and not everyone shows affection in the same way. While you may seek verbal affirmations, frequent check-ins, or quality time together, their expression of love may be quieter and more subtle. Maybe love isn't about constant communication, but being there when it matters. For example, let's say you text them about something important that happened in your day, and they don't respond for hours. This might feel like a lack of care, but for them, this is just how they are. They might value quality time over constant messages, or they might find it challenging to open up through words alone. This disconnect can create tension, making you wonder if they really value you. This misunderstanding happens a lot, as shown by an example from a real online group. When one woman said that her partner rarely texted her back, she thought that he was losing interest, but it turned out that he actually liked face-to-face conversations. By talking it out, she realized that his love language wasn't texting or frequent updates, but small acts of service like fixing things around the house or surprising her with her favorite coffee. Imagine that you and your partner speak different languages. If you speak English and they speak French without any translations, They may think they're showing love by fixing your car or cooking dinner, but if you're looking for sweet messages or more verbal affection, it can feel like they're distant. This gap between expectation and reality can be challenging to bridge, but it starts with understanding that everyone's love languages are different. Show your love in various ways. The comparison of a plant to a cactus may fit this situation. Some people compare their love to a plant that requires constant watering, care, and reassurance. For others, it's more like a cactus. They don't need as much attention and may seem irritable, but they're strong and rooted. Just because they don't need or give constant attention doesn't mean they don't care. They just thrive in different ways. It's important to understand this, and giving them time to express themselves in their own way can do wonders. Studies show that different ways of communicating can cause misunderstandings, and sometimes partners may drift apart if they can't find a middle ground. Not everyone will be able to fully adapt, and that's okay. But if you believe in the foundation of your connection, giving them space to show love in their way while gently sharing your needs can be transformative. Just remember that patience and understanding are key, but they also have limits. If you're consistently unhappy despite your best efforts, it might be time to reassess your situation. However, this may not be the case for everyone, as someone who loves you will typically go above and beyond to make you feel valued. They'll pay attention to the little things, remember the details, and show up in ways that speak directly to your heart. Most of the time, love is about those small, everyday actions that reassure us that we're important in their lives. If you're not feeling that, it could mean something else is going on. The second reason someone might ignore you, even if they love you, is because they're afraid of losing their independence. For some people, love and relationships make them feel too vulnerable, and they worry that being deeply committed means giving up parts of themselves. Instead of not caring, they may withdraw out of fear of losing their identity in the relationship. Imagine a person who has always valued their freedom, someone who has dedicated years to creating a life they love on their own terms. They are accustomed to making independent decisions, pursuing their passions, and leading a life free from feeling confined. Starting a relationship, especially with someone they care about, can feel like a journey into unfamiliar territory when bound by someone else's expectations. They might be afraid that getting too close will mean giving up their personal goals or the routines and alone time they value. Relationship sites provide a good example of this. One man talked about how he felt conflicted in his relationship. He loved his partner very much, but he fought her need for closeness, which made her feel rejected. He later admitted that it wasn't her presence that he resisted, but the thought that he would lose touch with who he was. His need for independence wasn't because he didn't love her. It was because he wanted to be in the relationship without losing himself. Over time, he learned how to talk to his partner about this fear, which helped her understand that his pullbacks weren't because he didn't care, but because he was trying to protect his sense of self. Think of independence as a valuable treasure that they've spent years guarding. They're standing on the edge of love, but afraid to dive in too deep and risk losing that treasure. It's like they're saying, "I want to be with you, but I don't want to lose myself." This fear is common, especially among long-term singles or those who felt smothered or controlled in past relationships. But let's be honest, if someone really loves you, they will often be willing to make room for you in their life without feeling like they're giving up their independence. Real love will find a way to incorporate the relationship into their world rather than pushing it away out of fear. Because most of the time, when someone cares deeply, they want to strengthen the bond by finding methods to balance closeness and independence. But this journey shouldn't be about forcing them to change or hoping they'll change. It should be about you. Focusing on what we can change is what Stoicism teaches us. As Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll feel stronger." Instead of focusing on their fear of commitment, work on improving your own sense of self-worth. They must face their fears of losing independence alone. You can't. Giving them time to process this fear may help them overcome it and open up about the relationship. But remember that if they aren't willing to let down their walls even a little, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a sign of their own internal struggle. So let's quickly move on to the final reason they might be ignoring you, even if they love you. Stick around, because we'll be talking about that lingering fear that whispers, "What if they're not interested anymore?" They are struggling with personal issues. The third reason someone might ignore you, even if they love you, is that they are dealing with personal issues that are unrelated to you. Life can be hard, and when people are going through inner struggles or outside pressures, they may become distant, not because they want to push you away, but because they're trying to stay afloat. During difficult times, even the most significant relationships may become secondary. It's like someone standing in the middle of a storm trying to hold on while winds of stress, self-doubt or fear rage around them. It's difficult to think about anything else. For some people, showing love during these times can feel like extra weight instead of a source of comfort, no matter how much they care. Rather than perceiving their distance as a sign of rejection, consider it a reflection of their internal turmoil, a challenge they must face alone, as demonstrated in a genuine relationship. This comes to life on the forum. One woman said that after her partner lost his job, he stopped calling as often, seemed distracted, and barely talked about his feelings. She started to worry that he was losing interest, but when they finally talked, he told her that he'd been feeling ashamed and overwhelmed while trying to build up his confidence. It wasn't a sign of lack of love. He was just struggling with something inside himself. When she realized that his withdrawal was only temporary, she was able to give him the space he needed to get through it without taking it personally. In relationships, it's common to see someone's distance as a statement about us, but sometimes they're just dealing with their own problems. Think of their silence as a wave receding before it comes back stronger. Sometimes they need to pull back, gather their strength, and find their footing before they can fully reconnect. Your comprehension and tolerance can serve as a beacon amidst their challenges, reassuring them that assistance and affection await them when they're prepared. Of course, it's crucial to strike a balance. While it's crucial to show kindness and respect their space, it's equally crucial to recognize your own value, as Stoicism teaches that you have no control over their journey. As Epicurus wisely advised, your response should be to embody your philosophy, not to explain it, especially when they may be facing their own struggles. Your focus should be on your own well-being. Be there if they reach out, but keep your life moving forward, finding strength in yourself. But here's a reminder, if someone truly loves you, they'll make an effort to share, even if only a little. What they're going through, they may not pour out every detail, but they'll give you a glimpse, a sign that you're still part of their world. If you find that they're consistently distant without a hint of what's going on, it might be time to consider whether they're ready for a relationship. As challenging as it is, maintaining your self-worth and setting boundaries doesn't just protect you, it also allows them to face their struggles without the pressure of constant reassurance. So now we've covered the top reasons why they might be ignoring you, even if they love you. But let's talk about that nagging fear. We all have the fear that maybe, just maybe, they're not interested anymore. Let's dive into that possibility and see what it really means for you. But before we dive deep, if you're loving this video, please do me a favor. Drop it and keep it up in the comments. It really motivates us to keep bringing you content that empowers and inspires, and it helps more people discover these insights too. Thank you for the support. Now for the video's main topic. What if they don't love you? What if their actions reveal a truth that their words don't? It's challenging to face, but knowing this possibility can give you the clarity and strength you need to protect your heart. Stay with me, because I'm about to reveal signs and insights that will help you see things as they really are and give you the power to make the best decisions for yourself. Sign number 1. They are consistently unavailable when you need them. The first indication that someone may not truly care is if they are unavailable when you need them. Imagine having a difficult day and all you want is a comforting word from someone you care about, but when you try to reach out, they're always too busy or don't respond at all. They might say they're tired or that they'll get back to you later, but that time never comes. A caring person will find a way to help you, even temporarily. Constant unavailability, on the other hand, can be a sign that their priorities might not match yours. Let's examine a commonly asked question about friendship. You've checked on them, helped them, and supported them when things get tough, but they don't help you. Lack of reciprocation can make you feel unappreciated and question your relationships. It's important to not always be available, but to be there when it matters. If someone cares, they'll make the time. This is a true story derived from a friendship. The forum is a prime example of this phenomenon. A woman said that she often felt ignored by her partner, who only seemed to be there for her when he needed something from her. She had assisted him in resolving his problems, yet he abandoned her when she faced her own. Eventually she realized that his lack of availability wasn't because he was busy, but because he wasn't interested in her. Her story reminds us that being available shows commitment and respect, which are two important parts of any real relationship. But Stoicism can help us stay strong instead of dwelling on their lack of availability. Think about the things you can change, like your own strength and sense of self-worth. It was Marcus Aurelius who said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Instead of letting their inconsistency break down your confidence, use it as a reminder to develop your inner strength, know your own worth, and make decisions that reflect that. If they're not showing up, you don't have to keep waiting. Instead, direct that energy toward yourself. If you feel unimportant or neglected, use this as a chance to prioritize your health and wellness. Commit to yourself by writing it down, speaking it aloud, and sharing it in the comments section. Remember, these lessons aren't meant to hurt you. They're here to make you stronger and more resilient. That's why we encourage you to share these affirmations in the comments as a sign to us and yourself that these insights are building you up, revealing truths, and empowering you to stand strong without needing anyone's validation. So go ahead and let us see these little signs of your strength. Dropping their unavailability in the comments doesn't define you. It's a sign that you're on this journey with us, standing firm and powerful. Someone who truly values you will be there not just when it's easy, but when it matters. If they're not, don't wait for them to see your worth. Recognize it in yourself. Let's continue and explore the next sign that might reveal more about where you really stand. Sign 2. When their actions don't align with their words, it's a clear indication that something is amiss. If you've experienced this, you understand the frustration it can cause. They may claim to care about your importance and commitment, but their actions often contradict their words. They make promises to spend more time showing up when you need them, but somehow they always fall short. Short words without action are empty, and over time this inconsistency can start to wear you down, making you question your worth and even your own reality. Imagine someone who says you mean the world to me, but doesn't call when they say they will, or backs out of plans at the last minute. It's like building a bridge halfway across a river and then leaving you stranded. Each broken promise is a crack in the foundation, making it harder to trust and leaving you feeling alone in the relationship. It's as if they're giving you a taste of what love could feel like, but never really delivering on it. A story on a forum vividly illustrates this point. A man was in a long-distance relationship where his partner always talked about moving closer, making plans for a future together, and constantly reassured him of her love. Yet every time the opportunity came to take action, she found an excuse. Over time, he realized that her words were merely comforting promises, but her actions showed no real commitment. Eventually, he had to step back and see the situation for what it was: a relationship built on hope rather than reality. Think of words and actions like the roots and branches of a tree. Words are the branches. They reach out, give shade, and make you feel connected. But without roots, those branches won't survive. Long actions are the roots, grounding those promises and giving them strength to grow. When someone truly cares, their actions reinforce their words, creating a balance that makes you feel secure and valued. Without that alignment, you're left feeling unstable, like you're standing on shaky ground. Here's where Stoic wisdom can really help. Rather than holding on to their words alone, focus on the reality of their actions. Alexander the Great once said, "If someone can show me that what I think or do is wrong, I will change." If someone acts differently from what we want, they're telling the truth. This quote advises us to see things as they are, not as we wish. So, if you're feeling confused, believe what you see as true, and let go of the lies that keep you stuck. Remember that words don't define me. Write it down and post it in the comments to show that you're serious about seeing things clearly. You and everyone here need to know that we're building a community of strength where words only matter if they're backed up by action. Let this be your reminder that you deserve consistency. Being honest and showing up with more than just words is important. If you're on this journey with us, please let us know in the comments that you're choosing truth over empty claims. Being strong and believing in your own worth is important. Now let's find the next sign that might tell you even more about where you really stand. Sign 3. They don't seem interested in your life or goals. Their lack of interest in your life or goals is the third sign they may be lying. Someone who cares about you will want to know your motivations, thrills, and goals. They will ask you questions, celebrate your successes, and support your goals. But if someone only seems interested in their own life and rarely interacts with yours, it could mean that they're not as involved as they say they are. Imagine telling them something personal or exciting, whether it's a promotion you're aiming for, a passion project you're exploring, or even a simple hobby you're exploring. Instead of receiving enthusiasm, you often encounter silence, a dismissive comment, or a quick change of topic over time. Engagement can make you feel small, as if your dreams don't matter in a healthy relationship. Both partners are each other's biggest supporters, but if they're indifferent to what makes you come alive, it could mean they're only there for surface-level companionship. Consider a story shared in a relationship. In a forum, a man noticed that his partner never showed any interest in his career goals, despite the fact that he often supported her aspirations. He gradually realized that this lack of interest wasn't just a difference in personality, but rather a lack of depth in their connection. Eventually, he made the decision to step away, realizing that a fulfilling relationship requires mutual support and respect for each other's lives. When someone really loves you, they enjoy watching you grow and change. They will be your sunshine, listening to your goals, and your water, always there to cheer you on or offer help. Without these things, a relationship can become suffocating, leaving one person feeling emotionally hungry at times like these. Stoicism is a strong way of looking at things. Instead of taking their lack of interest personally, focus on the things that make you happy. As Epictetus said, know first who you are and then what you want. Dress yourself accordingly. Your ambitions, dreams and goals are a part of who you are. Don't let anyone tell you they're not worth pursuing. You can choose your path in life with or without their help. If you're feeling ignored or unsupported, remind yourself of this. I don't need their approval. Say it, write it, and yes, drop it in the comments as a promise to honor your own goals. This shows everyone here that your goals matter. Let it serve as a reminder that your dreams deserve love, care, and commitment. Stay strong in your belief that you don't need other people's support to pursue something that makes you feel alive. If you're on this journey with us, please let us know in the comments that you're choosing self-respect over an empty life. Standing tall and proud of your goals, let's continue our journey and discover the next sign that could reveal even more about your true self. The sign indicates a lack of desire to make plans or commit to anything in the future. When someone truly sees a future with you, they'll naturally include you in their plans, whether it's a weekend getaway, a family gathering, or even long-term goals like moving in together or planning trips. However, when someone hesitates or constantly sidesteps any future plans, it's a warning sign. Talk of the future can be a signal that they're unsure about their level of commitment, or that their keep talking about the future can indicate that they are uncertain about their level of commitment or are keeping their options open. For instance, you may be excitedly discussing a trip you've always dreamed of taking together, or discussing a milestone like celebrating a big anniversary. But instead of joining in on your excitement, they seem distant, dismissive, or find excuses to avoid the topic. Alternatively, they may be all for short-term plans, but become uncomfortable when you bring up anything that involves commitment beyond the next few weeks over time. Case in point. A woman in the forum talked about how her partner would agree to last-minute plans, but would never commit to anything more than a few days in advance. When she brought up meeting each other's families or planning a longer trip together, he would say it was too early, or that he wasn't ready to think that far ahead. Eventually, she realized that his refusal to commit was a sign that he wasn't really interested in a future with her, so she chose to move on, putting her own needs first. Being clear and at ease. When someone is truly interested in a shared future, they'll lay down bricks with you one by one to make something solid and last. Not making plans for the future is like showing up to a construction site empty-handed, unwilling to put in the time or effort to build a foundation. This lack of commitment leaves you with an unfinished structure. When we're in a relationship that lacks stability and certainty, we can learn a lot from Stoicism. Instead of hoping they'll change, we should focus on reality. Seneca once asserted that a person's avoidance of commitment does not defeat the power of the mind. If you feel like you're constantly waiting for them to take the next step, tell yourself that I rise above their drama. This will assist you in avoiding wasting your time and energy on a relationship that might not lead to the future you deserve. This affirmation is more than a mantra. It shows you control your happiness. Yes, write it down and drop it in the comments to let us know that you'd rather have confidence in yourself than worry about what might happen. Be strong in your belief that you deserve someone who is excited to build a future with you, not someone who treats you like a short-term choice. Drop I rise above their drama in the comments to show that you're aware of your worth, ready to move on, and strong enough to look for a relationship that leaves no room for doubt. Let's keep going and find the next sign that may tell us even more about you. Sign 5. They don't try to solve problems. If someone doesn't make an effort to solve problems, it's the fifth indication that they may not be truly invested in the relationship. Disagreements are normal in relationships, and they're often chances to learn and grow. If both parties are genuinely committed, they will resolve the issues. If they avoid lengthy conversations, downplay your feelings, or refuse to compromise, it's a clear sign that they may not be as committed as they say they are. If you bring up a concern, maybe you feel ignored or there's a long-standing issue, they don't listen or address it. Instead, they get defensive or blame you. Over time, this can make you feel unheard, undervalued, and even like you're overreacting. In a healthy relationship, both partners should care enough to engage, apologize if necessary, and take steps to improve. When someone doesn't show that effort, they're putting their own comfort ahead of the relationship. An online story illustrates the devastating impact of this lack of effort. One man talked about how his partner would stonewall him whenever he brought up a problem. She would refuse to talk, leave the room, or brush off his concerns, leaving him feeling alone and emotionally abandoned. Eventually, he realized that her refusal to work on solving problems was causing him a lot of emotional pain. He realized that a one-sided effort would never lead to a fulfilling relationship and chose to put his own peace of mind ahead of staying with someone who wouldn't deal with their problems. If you think of conflict resolution as taking care of a garden, disagreements are like weeds that always show up in a committed relationship. Together, both partners pull out the weeds to make the garden grow. But if one partner refuses to do their part, the weeds will eventually take over the garden and kill any chance for growth. True connection means working together to solve problems. If you fail to do so, the relationship can become a source of anger rather than fostering growth. Stoicism can help you in important ways. Instead of trying to solve problems with someone who doesn't want to work with us, we can step back and think about whether this relationship is really helping us. As Epicurus wisely said, it's how you react that matters, not what happens. If they refuse to compromise, allow that to guide your focus. If you find yourself constantly trying to solve problems on your own, remind yourself, I deserve peace. This isn't just a statement. You deserve a partner who listens to you and values the relationship enough to work through problems together. Say it, write it down, and yes, post it in the comments as a pledge to honor your own peace and boundaries. If you're with us on this journey, drop I deserve peace in the comments to let us know you're choosing self-respect over unresolved conflict, putting peace first, and embracing the strength to move forward without constant fights. The sixth sign is that they only reach out when it suits them. This is the final indication that they may not be truly committed. They only reach out when it's convenient for them. If you observe that they only participate in your life when it fits their schedule or mood, it's a clear indication that they might not be fully committed to a balanced, meaningful relationship. True connection requires work from both sides, not just when it's convenient or easy. For example, let's say you've gone out of your way to support the other person and put the relationship first, but when you need them, like when you're having a difficult day and need advice or just want to share a moment, they're suddenly unavailable or too busy. Just when you're starting to accept their distance, they reappearance, acting like nothing happened. This inconsistency can make you feel used and undervalued and question the relationship's mutuality. An online story illustrates the severity of this behavior. One person talked about how their partner would disappear for days at a time and only contact them when they needed emotional support or a favor. At first, they tried to explain this behavior, hoping it was only temporary. But eventually they saw a pattern. Their partner was only interested in them when they wanted something, not because they really wanted to be close or help. Realizing this helped them understand that a relationship should be about mutual care, not convenience. When someone truly cares, they will be there for you regardless of the time or location that suits them best. They'll reach out to show support, interest and care, not just because it's beneficial for them. But when someone only contacts you when it's convenient for them, it feels like you're just a rest stop on their journey instead of a valued partner. Stoicism teaches us that we should focus on what we can change, our reactions, our limits, and our sense of self-worth. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have control over your mind, not over events outside of it. Realize this, and you'll feel stronger." If their actions don't meet your needs, prioritize your health and happiness. Invest your energy in areas that hold value and respect. If you are experiencing feelings of being used or undervalued, the affirmation, "I am better independent," can be beneficial. Declare it aloud, jot it down, and yes, include it in the comments to express your strong self-worth and refusal to accept treatment as a choice. If you're joining us on this journey, please share in the comments how you're standing firm in your worth, prioritizing relationships that value you, and embracing your strength to thrive on your own terms. This last sign is a reminder that you deserve respect, consistency, and genuine commitment. To wrap it up, remember that these signs aren't meant to bring you down, but to help you see your relationships clearly and make choices that honor your worth. If someone truly values you, they'll be there for you in good times and bad. They'll make you feel seen, and they'll work through challenges with you. If any of these signs feel familiar, it's a sign that you need to refocus on your own growth goals and peace of mind. You deserve someone who's genuinely present, not just when it's easy, but when it matters. Leave a number from 1 to 10 in the comments to let us know how useful you thought these tips were, and don't forget to click the like button. Subscribe and share this content with someone who needs a reminder of their value. Always remember to be strong and independent, and to value yourself above all else. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next movie.